Hello, my wonderful friends, and it is time for another story, another chapter by our friend Gantt Chart. This is Karen vs. Louisianabeard, Part 3. This time, it's personal. I had to say it all epic, because whatever, let's just... Hey, Moonhorse. Hello. As well as the rest of the Moon cultists, I have returned, and it's great to be back. And, since I'm back, you know what time it is. That's right, another chapter about our unstoppable neckbeardery versus unbearable Karenness. Please enjoy.
Oh, Lewis, I can't believe you defeated Vegeta!
Bulma-chan squealed in a high-pitched voice.
It wasn't anything special. He was no match for my katana abilities, m'lady. I'm just glad I could save you from such an unfitting male like him.
Lewis began staring into the body pillow of Bulma-chan lustfully. His room filled with candles he bought from the dollar store. Romantic music played in the background as Lewis sat with his date at a fold-out table with chairs.
Oh, Lewis, how could I ever repay you? I feel so insignificant compared to all your other girlfriends.
Oh, Bulma-chan, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I don't love those girls as much as I love you. I just let them hang around, give them compliments, because I'm a nice guy. You're my main gal. Always have, always will. Here, let me pour you a drink.
Lewis then took a bottle of Mountain Dew and poured the green liquid into 2 wine glasses.
Oh, Lewis, you're quite the seducer.
I know, m'lady. I learned my abilities from the finest of Japanese dating sims.
I want to be your girlfriend, Lewis.
I'll do you one even better, kitten.
Lewis got down on one knee and gave her the ring he bought at the anime convention.
Lewis, I don't know what to say.
Let's not talk, my fair maiden. Let's kiss.
Lewis proceeded to lean in for a kiss when suddenly he heard a strange voice from the living room. A familiar voice.
Oh, I need to take care of something. You wait right here.
Oh, Lewis, I've waited decades for a man of your caliber. I can wait a little longer. Just don't take too long.
Wouldn't dream of it, m'lady.
Lewis exited his bedroom slowly when he began sneaking towards the living room. He could hear the voice better now. It was not a voice he ever wanted to hear in his own home. Deborah. Oh, Angelica, it's awful, Deborah said while sipping tea with Lewis's mother. My business has been faltering. I haven't sold a single care package in weeks. And that's terrible to hear. Listen, if you need anything, just let me know, okay? We are neighbors after all. And neighbors look after each other. You know, now that you mention it, I can't seem to afford Timmy's daycare anymore. I was wondering if I could get you to look after him for a while. You know how it is. Alimony checks only go so far. I wish I could, Deborah, but I've been busy myself lately. Local church I volunteer for has been busy trying to feed the poor, but I'm sure Lewis would be more than happy to help watch Timmy for you. Deborah's face morphed into a grin. Why, yes, that would be lovely. Lewis's jaw dropped. How could his mother do this? The idea of having to babysit that brat hole? I'll drop him off at 6:40 tomorrow morning. Thanks again, Angelica, Deborah said while heading out the door. Oh, you're more than welcome, Deborah. It's the least we could do. She left, and as the door shut, Lewis's mother turned a full 180 degrees. I know you're over there, Lewis.
Bob, listen to me. You can't do this.
Oh, I'm afraid I can. When you're under my roof, you'll follow my rules.
I can't babysit that brat hole.
Why not? Are you too busy playing video games? That's right. Your game console went missing.
That Floyd stole my console and you know it.
Lewis, that's a horrible thing to say. Just because you lost your Xbox, don't blame it on Deborah. I'm sure if you looked more thoroughly through that room of yours, you'd find it.
That is not the point. I can't babysit that kid. I hate kids.
Louis, remember that outburst you had at the party?
Yes.
And remember how you were late with your rent payments?
Wasn't that late?
It's been 3 months, and I still have no money from you. The party incident was strike 1, your failure to pay rent, strike 2. And now you act like this. Let me make this clear. 1 more strike from you, and you're out of this house.
But you can't do that.
I can, and I will. Now babysit Timmy, and it'll be the first step towards me trusting you again. Louis pinched the bridge of his nose and exhaled loudly, then agreed to the proposition. There was no arguing with his mother at this point. Don't feel bad, Louis. Think of this as practice when you finally get a job. Who knows, you might even like Timmy when you get to know him.
I doubt it,
Louis thought. The next morning, Louis was sleeping in his bed when he heard a knock on the door.
Mister?
A child's voice called out. Louis groaned.
Mister, Mom said you're gonna be my babysitter for a while.
Kid, don't wake me up. It's too early.
It's 7 in the morning.
What do you want?
Your mom said you had to look after me when I'm bored. I want to play Fortnite.
I would love to do that, except, I don't know. Your mom destroyed my Xbox.
We can play Legos?
Fuck off, kid.
Louis Calloway Anderson, if you don't cut that out right now, I swear to God I will kick you to the curb this instant. His mother yelled as she was preparing to leave the house. Louis screamed into his pillow before getting up and yanking open the bedroom door. His face shifted into a fake smile.
Alright, fine. Let's play Legos.
For the next 4 hours, Louis and Timmy played with old Legos Louis had when he was a kid. Louis tried to reassemble a Lego X-Wing fighter that he made when he was 10. Timmy was making a race car from various blocks. There was no speaking between the two of them. Louis just ignored the kid and tried not to let his seething rage boil over.
Hey, mister, you got any food? I'm hungry.
I got Hot Pockets in the freezer.
I want gumbo.
We don't have that.
No gumbo. How can you call yourself a Louisianian? You have no gumbo. For shame.
I see someone took my comments to heart.
Woo. Well played.
We're just gonna have to eat what we have here.
Well, can you go to the store and get some?
No.
Well, if you don't, I'm gonna tell my mom you starve me.
Yeah, it's definitely Deborah's kid,
Louis thought. He sighed and grabbed his car keys, and soon the two were driving in Louis's clunker of a car. As before, there was silence between them, tension thick enough you could cut it with a knife. Louis focused on the road before him, as before, trying not to release his unbridled rage onto this child. 4 more hours, and this would be over.
Mister?
Timmy stuttered.
What?
Why are you alone?
What?
Well, it's just that my cousin's the same age as you, and he's getting married.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's really happy about it, but you seem like miserable and alone. Why is that?
Kid, you know anything about the birds and the bees?
No?
Well, I'm gonna teach you about the Chads and the Stacys. You see, Timmy, there are 3 types of people in this world. Chads, Stacys, and incels.
Oh, here we go.
What's an incel?
Incels are the most downtrodden and oppressed group of people in the world. They're the people who can't get a girlfriend because of their genetics. They get rejected by all the females who hold unreasonably high standards of men. Instead, these females go chasing after Chad, who will probably abuse them, while leaving the nice incel to wallow in his misery. It's awful. And on top of that, these females act like you're a total creep for trying to talk to them. It makes me sick. Being an incel today is like being a North Korean citizen.
Well, now that you mention it, girls don't talk to me. I don't know why, but I try to talk to them about Fortnite, but they always blow me off and talk to Billy.
That's because they're Stacy's in the making. And Billy is a Chad in the making.
So I guess that makes me an incel too.
Guess so, kid. But don't feel bad about it. The female species is nothing but trouble.
Louis proceeded to pull into a Winn-Dixie's parking lot. Winn-Dixie's, oh my god! And he and Timmy got out of the car and grabbed a shopping cart. Louis started grabbing groceries for himself and then headed to the soup aisle to find Timmy his precious gumbo. He grabbed a can of grilled chicken and sausage gumbo and then headed to the checkout for purchase. It was at that moment that he saw the female cashier. Her hair was long, dyed blue, the same shade of blue as her eyes. She had fair skin and a slim body as well.
Just this.
Louis stuttered nervously.
You want paper or plastic?
Neither. I prefer to carry my groceries in a tote bag. Gotta do our part to save the environment, right?
Yeah, it's a really noble cause to fight for. Is that a Dragon Ball tote?
The girl said, pointing to Louis's tote.
Yeah, are you a fan?
Oh yeah, I love it. Fight scenes, characters, pretty fun anime.
Other animes you're interested in?
Yeah, I like Full Metal Alchemist and Ouran High School Host Club.
Was this really happening? Louis, did he find his real-life Bulma-chan?
Calm down, Louis. Keep it cool. Be confident and suave. All your dates with your Bulma pillow prepared you for this moment.
You know, maybe you could come by my place. I could introduce you to some new anime.
That sounds pretty good. But Louis,
Timmy said, tugging at Louis's pants.
I thought you said all females are nothing but trouble. Why are you inviting one to your house?
The female cashier's smile dropped. Louis promptly told the kid to shut up through clenched teeth.
But you said females keep calling guys like us creepy and that makes you feel like you're in North Korea.
Kids these days making up such ridiculous things, you know. My address is
here are your groceries.
You can't seriously believe a word this kid says.
Leave or I'm gonna call security. Louis grabbed his groceries and left, but not before calling the female cashier a whore as he and Timmy left the store.
Mom said it's not nice to call women that word.
Listen to me, Timmy. Rule number 1 of being an incel. Never be a cockblock to other incels. Ever. It's just wrong.
I was just trying to protect you from the females.
I don't need your protection. I have a katana.
What's a cockblock?
That's your mom. She's an expert.
Louis then returned home with little Timmy. He made him his precious gumbo and spent the rest of the day watching Nickelodeon before Deborah came to the door.
Well, hi, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I learned a lot. Did you know that I'm an incel?
Deborah's face morphed into a frown. Then she shot Louis an angry glare.
Timmy, you need to go on home, sweetie. Louis and I need to have an adult conversation. Okay,
Timmy said while cheerfully skipping back home. Deborah closed the door softly and soon was eye to eye with Louis. What the hell is your problem?
What the hell are you talking about?
Why are you teaching my son about incels? You realize how inappropriate that is?
Well, maybe you should know. At least he has a head start on learning how screwed up the world is.
Don't you ever have conversations about that kind of stuff around my child ever again. I mean, what are you, a danger stranger?
A what?
You know, a danger stranger. You know, the creepy guy you never leave your kids alone with.
You mean a pet?
Don't you say it! I don't want my little Timmy exposed to that word.
Prenuptials?
Really funny. Don't ever talk about that stuff around my child again, you hear?
Or else what?
Or else I'll make you homeless. Louis's eyes bulged out of his head. That's right. I know about your little issue with your mommy. If you cross me again, I'll let her know what a horrible babysitter you are. With that, Deborah left the house, leaving Louis in shock about what just happened. This lady just admit to using her child as a pawn for her little schemes? Was she that twisted of a human being? I mean, scamming people out of their life savings is one thing, but this is her own kid. Bratty and annoying kid, but her own nonetheless. And that's how it went for the next 5 weeks. 5 agonizing weeks. Louis thought he was in North Korea, but now he was in the 10th circle of hell. For the next 5 weeks, the routine was the same. Deborah would bang on Louis's door at about 6 in the morning, screaming at him to get the hell up. He would then have to spend time with an annoying Fortnite player and be forced to cater to his every need.
I want gumbo, I want etouffee, I want jambalaya.
I see someone's been listening to me. Every time Louis would be forced to make this food for him. And did Deborah reimburse him for it? Of course not. It's really dug into Louis's Mountain Dew money. He even had to buy the crappy off-brand Mountain Lightning just to get by. Every day he suffered like this. His mid-morning naps were ruined. He hadn't played Xbox in forever. He wasn't even able to hit on random girls while out in public. It truly was the 10th circle of hell for neckbeards. And where was Deborah in all of this? He didn't know. This whole situation had infuriated Lewis, but what could he do? He sat at a fold-out table with Bulma-chan, reflecting on how horrible his life had become.
I'm not proud to say it, but I give up. I don't know what to do about this anymore. I need a place to stay. Deborah single-handedly ruined my home life. But where else can I go? I can't afford to live on my own social security. I need my home. I just need it.
Lewis broke into tears.
I just can't. I can't take this shit no more, man.
He cried while throwing an Xbox controller against the wall.
I just want to live my life, you know? Get a beautiful wife and settle down and have a good life. Oh, I hate it.
Lewis was a sobbing mess at this point. He began bawling his eyes out. He had just about enough of being Deborah's slave. It was at that moment he looked at the toy ring he gave to Bulma-chan and realized that he needed to do what he could to get out of this situation. He needed to be strong. He defeated Vegeta. He can defeat Deborah. So, how to do it was the question. If only he could prove to his mother what a terrible person Deborah was. Sure, he tried the MLM discussion with her in the past. Deborah just seemed to convince her that it was a simple business. No, he was going to need something stronger than that to expose Deborah. And then a thought came to Lewis's mind. He remembered that incident when Deborah moved in with the moving truck, as well as the MLM incident. If Deborah is so entitled and shameless about screwing people over for her own entitlement, would she do the same for a charity? Say, a church charity? That morning, Lewis decided to talk to his mother before she left.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, dear.
You know, I thought about the financial situation Deborah's in. I imagine someone like her may struggle to get groceries. Maybe she could go to the church to get free lunches for the time being.
I don't know, Lewis. I mean, those lunches are for the homeless.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's a single mother. Plus, think about it. She'd be in an environment filled with Christians. She'd be in the house of the Lord, filled with the beauty and glory of Jesus. It may give her an opportunity to better ingratiate herself with the community, and if she talks to all the people there, you know.
I suppose. Alright, I'll tell her about it tomorrow.
Thanks, Bob.
And so, that morning continued like the rest. Deborah dropped off her kid, Deborah went off, and Lewis began sitting in the living room with Timmy. Only this time, he was a bit more giddy this particular morning.
Hey, Lewis, why are you smiling?
Timmy asked. Lewis grinned evilly.
Well, justice is going to be served.
That afternoon, Deborah walked off with Timmy, not saying a word to Lewis. She left out of the house looking absolutely pissed. Lewis couldn't help but laugh. This ought to be good, he thought. Later that day, Lewis's mother came in the door looking absolutely exasperated, her shirt stained with soup.
Whoa, what happened?
Lewis asked, his voice filled with fake concern. I just cannot believe she did that.
What happened, Bob?
She did all of this in the house of God, she said, referring to her shirt. Lewis's mom then filled in her son on the situation that happened. She told Deborah about the soup kitchen the local church had set up and said if she wanted, she could swing by, grab a bite to eat. She, however, made it absolutely clear that there was one bowl per person. One. Deborah tried to ask for seconds after the first, and the workers at the kitchen had to reiterate this fact to her. I was not told of this, Deborah screamed. Ma'am, we have limited resources. We can't feed everyone here if we keep giving everyone seconds. Well, why not? I'm a single mother. I'm more important than all of these people. You give me that right now. Deborah immediately stole a bowl of soup out of a homeless man's hand.
Lady, what are you doing? The drifter exclaimed.
I'm just getting another bowl for myself.
That's not fair. I haven't had much to eat. These meals at the church are literally all I get.
Well, maybe if you weren't such a lazy bum and found a job, you wouldn't be in this mess, hippie. Lewis's mom came up to Deborah, furious at what she heard. Deborah, what are you doing? I'm just getting seconds. By the way, you guys have any salt? Deborah, this is a charity. Are you seriously stealing from a charity? I am just trying to remind this man that he should get a job. He wouldn't be in this mess if he did. Deborah, that man over there has been fighting a heroin addiction. He's been trying to get clean and put his life back together. Well, that's just more reason the church shouldn't help him. He'll just try to light up. Deborah, you should be more understanding to his plight. Remember, Matthew 7:2, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. You could bring up your smoking addiction. Cigarettes and heroin are two separate things. I smoke in moderation. Really, I didn't know a pack a day was moderation. It's not that much! Then why does your house always smell like tobacco? You smoke more than a volcano. We know this, Deborah. Deborah, offended by this statement, immediately threw the bowl of soup at Lewis's mom. I don't give a shit! That bum over there is gonna burn in hell anyway! I don't give a shit! You can lock me up in a fucking prison! Life without fucking parole, and I'll be better off than any one of you! Leave. Or else what? Or I'm calling the cops. And so, Deborah left, giving her trademark bird flip. Lewis's mother had to apologize to the staff of the situation. They were understanding and told her it was fine. Lewis's mother texted Deborah later that day. After that display, she realized that Deborah was a horrible person, one just beyond redemption, and that she was not going to help her anymore, and thus Deborah would have to find a babysitter for little Timmy somewhere else. I'm so sorry to hear that, Mom, Lewis said, his voice filled with fake concern. It's all right. I guess you're right. Deborah really is a terrible person. And it was at that moment Lewis's ego grew 3 sizes that day. Oh, that's really too bad. I was actually starting to like that kid, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to find you a new set of tasks to do each day. Cleaning the house, mowing the lawn, dishes. I still expect you to pay rent, though. So, sweet, I still have a place to live. Yes, Lewis, you still have a place to live. Yes, Lewis thought to himself. He was finally free of the child. Although, not a complete victory. He could still consider this a victory against Deborah. However, Lewis realized that he was going to have to be careful in the future. He considered Deborah's war speech, and if she weren't bluffing, then there would be more from that spiteful hag. He'd have to think about that when having future encounters with Deborah. But for now, he celebrated his small victory as he always does. Alone time with Bulma-chan. Let's see. Author's note. So I wanted to let you guys know that I plan to have 2 more chapters in this saga. Oh. So as a result of this, I saw YouTube comments talking about how great my story was. It is really good. It brings a tear to my eye seeing your support. Aw, that's really sweet. So here's me giving back. This is the first ever r/Moonhorse Stories Choose Your Own Ending fanfiction. Oh boy, here we go. Here's how this works. If you guys private message me, Gantt chart, you vote on one of the 4 endings down below. After all, I love democracy, so here are your choices. A. Deborah and Lewis fight to the death. Lewis wins. B. Same ending as A, only vice versa. C. Deborah and Lewis both end up in jail. D. Deborah and Lewis get together in the end. Oh my. Vote now before it's too late. Okay, so to clarify some things, because this is a thing here, this is actually a post. You can find these options and where to vote and all this other stuff in the link that's in the description underneath this video. There is a link to every story. I mean, I've started doing that not too long ago, but yeah, it should be there, and you can go to this post and actually do your voting there or message Gantt chart specifically as they have requested. So yeah, if you want to vote on how the ending of this goes, here's how you do it, I guess. I did not set this up in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually kind of surprised by this, like you guys are. I am loving this story, though. I am absolutely, really, really happy that you came back and put in another installment. This is extra good, and I love the little Louisiana-specific things that keep happening. I'm not gonna lie, every time there's a fanfiction that involves Louisiana neckbeards or something like that around here, I kind of half expect for you to, just for all of you to write me into it. It would be the first time there's been a Moonhorse fan fiction, though I haven't seen any in quite a while. Also, I haven't exactly looked for them either, so that could be a different thing. There is actually one, and I read it a long time ago. Well, there's more than one, but the one I'm thinking of is, there's a user out there somewhere, I don't know if she actually still follows this channel or anything, who did write, and I'm serious, before we get into everything specific about this story, somewhere on the internet there is an erotic Moonhorse fanfiction, which, I have to admit, I've read it, and I think it's pretty funny. Sango does not like it, though, so... But, this story, every single chapter of this has been fantastic so far. I love the specifics of everything. I love how it just flows so good together. And I love that it gives me a chance to do weird vocal impressions and stupid things. I really hope you guys like my terrible voices. It's a thing I try to do. But this was super, super good, and you guys vote on the end. I have no idea how this will end, but I'm excited. With that being said, this video is already really long, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Like, comment, subscribe. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store, which sells everything. Just everything. I have all kinds of weird stuff in the merch store. You should totally check it out. And the subreddit, as well as all kinds of stuff. Links to the Discord, and if you ever wanted to send me a weird package in the mail, you can do that too. I open them on video. They're all in the description below this video, and every video for that matter. So, you know, on Saturday there's a live stream. If you wanted to do this, except actually talk to me while I read stupid things. I mean, this is my life, I guess. Anyway, I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.